Okay, let's look at another genre here, and I think now we'll look at hip hop. Now, this is one that I've been kind of avoiding because it can go hundreds of different ways. There's a lot of different ways a hip hop beat can go. So to extract it down to its basic elements is pretty tricky for me to do. However, I think I have figured it out. So the thing about most hip hop beats is that they're really straight. So no swing, no nothing like that. No, nothing like that. That wasn't very good English. Nothing like that. And they're relatively simple. So we don't have like crazy hi-hats going like we had in trap or anything like that. So we want to keep out of the way of the vocalist who's also doing really rhythmic stuff, right? So we don't want the beat to be too complicated, or the drums, I should say, to be too complicated. So I'm going to kind of pick a random one, a random kind of a hip-hop beat, and we'll build that. So let's go to a 909 drum kit, just because there's a lot of drum kits you could use, but this is a mighty fine one. So let's go back to our basic beat. So snares on 2 and 4, and our hi-hat. Let's do eighth notes. Okay, so here's our basic beat. Okay, so now that's not a great hip hop beat. So let's craft this a little bit. We do want our kicks and snares right about where they are. However, we want to add a few more kicks. Let's put one here on the and of 4. Let's put one here on the and the of 4. Sorry, this was the of 4, the last 16th note. Here's the last 16th note, and there's the and of 3. Sorry, when I said and of 4, I meant and of 1. Let me try that again. So we have kicks on 1, the of 1, 3, the and the of 3, and that'll do it. Let's add a little rim click right here and here, just for fun. We've got our snares on 2 and 4, and let's liven up our hi-hat a little bit with this kind of a pattern. So with the pattern, we've got dot 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 dot, that kind of a feel. So let's hear what we've got now. I think I might like that better, a little slower tempo. Let's add in a clap maybe. Let's add an open hi-hat right to fill in this hole. Okay, that's not bad. What we really care about is actually the basic beat. You know, if we go back to the basics, that's our real lamppost here, is the basic stuff. You know, we've got our kick and our snare. Kick on 1 and 3, and our snare on 2 and 4. We can play around with more things around that, but hip hop is really based on having that snare on 2 and 4 and the kick on 1 and 3. There's more we can do with it, but as long as we have that, and then we subtly add some more things around here, like let's add another kick here and here, right? It's still going to feel pretty good. Right? So as long as we have the kick and the snare going in the fashion of our basic beat, something in the hi-hats, not too complicated, relatively simple, then we can play around with extra kick hits. And that's pretty much it. There's not a lot else happening. Remember, we want the hip-hop beat to be relatively simple, stays out of the way of the rapper. Okay, so let's play with this a little more by looking at some examples.